We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans.
People were willing to pay up to see this preseason game has now set the new ticket price high for anything that Caitlin Clark, any game she has played in.
Remember when WNBA preseason games used to be quiet affairs with cheap tickets? Now picture this, $440 average ticket price for a preseason game featuring Caitlin Clark. That's not a typo. People are paying nearly $500 to watch a practice game. The Indiana Fever has transformed from rebuilding team to championship contender overnight. Their front office skipped years of development by surrounding Clark with veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham. In this video, I'm revealing 5 records Clark has already broken before the 2025 season even tips off, and why these numbers mean the WNBA will never be the same. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Average paid price of $440 per ticket. Somebody moves the needle when people are willing to pay ginormous amount of money. Is that a word? A massive amount of money to see Caitlin Clark play ball.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin Clark.
You know what's crazy? While most rookie cards sell for a few $100, Caitlin Clark's autographed rookie card just sold for $366,000. That's not a typo. Someone paid more than the price of a house for a piece of cardboard with her signature on it. And this wasn't just any card, it was a 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism card, the only one of its kind with a perfect grade of 10. Let's put this in perspective. Her card broke the previous record held by tennis legend Serena Williams. Not LeBron, not Jordan, but Serena Williams had the record at $266,400. Clark didn't just beat it, she smashed it by $100,000. One fan even posted on social media, $366,000. Caitlin is the needle. Smashed the old record held by Serena by $100,000. This is huge. Another fan was just as shocked, writing, "Oh my god, that's insane." This isn't just about a piece of cardboard with a signature. It's about how Clark is completely changing what people think women's sports memorabilia is worth. Before Clark, WNBA cards were basically ignored by serious collectors. Most top-tier women's basketball cards sold for a tiny fraction of what men's cards went for, but Clark changed all that overnight. Collectors who never looked twice at WNBA cards are now fighting to get anything with Clark's name on it. The sports card market is going wild. According to The Athletic, 4 other Clark cards have sold for over $97,000 each in just the last 12 months. Her Panini Select WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl card went for $234,850 back in December. Even her Instant Rookie of the Year Blue Viper autographed card sold for $97,212. These prices were unimaginable for women's basketball cards just 2 years ago. This record is extra special because it happened before her second season even started. Most players need championships or decades of dominance to reach these prices. Michael Jordan's cards didn't hit these numbers until after his 6th championship. LeBron's cards took years to reach similar values. But Clark, she's done it after just 1 season in the league. The timing couldn't be more perfect, right when the Fever are building a super team around her with veterans like DeWanna Bonner, who brings championship experience. The Fever front office is betting big on Clark, surrounding her with players who know how to win. They're not waiting around for a 5-year rebuild. They want to compete now while Clark is changing the game. Card experts are saying this is just the beginning. Some predict her rarest cards could eventually sell for millions if she delivers on her potential. And these experts are serious people who've tracked the market for decades. They're not making wild guesses. They're looking at the trajectory of demand and seeing something unprecedented. What makes this even crazier is that Clark is breaking records in a market that's historically ignored women athletes. She's not just joining the conversation, she's leading it. For years, collectors would say there just wasn't enough interest in women's sports memorabilia to justify high prices. Clark proved them all wrong. The demand for her cards isn't just high, it's explosive. But the choice of Panini Prism for her record-breaking card wasn't random either. Panini holds the exclusive WNBA trading card license, and Prism is their most popular set. By breaking the record with this particular card, Clark essentially actually put the WNBA card market on the map for mainstream collectors, which WNBA teams are now paying the price for Clark's record-breaking popularity. Every single one of them. Road game ticket prices jumped 59% to $272 on average, forcing teams to move games to bigger arenas just to meet demand. The Phoenix Mercury had to relocate from their regular arena to a venue with twice the capacity. The Seattle Storm moved to Climate Pledge Arena. The Atlanta Dream switched to State Farm Arena. Teams are scrambling to capitalize on the Caitlin Clark effect because leaving money on the table isn't an option. This card sale was just the first domino to fall. The ripple effects are hitting every corner of the WNBA. Teams are seeing merchandise sales explode, TV ratings are climbing, social media engagement is through the roof, and it's all happening because one player changed the perception of what women's basketball could be worth in the collectibles market. The $366,000 card is a physical symbol of Clark's impact, not just on the court, but on the entire business of women's basketball. Imagine a single player so important that the entire WNBA had to change its schedule. That's exactly what happened with Caitlin Clark. The league basically said, we need to completely rebuild our plans around this one player, and they're not even trying to hide it. The WNBA looked at their TV ratings and ticket sales and made a decision that's never happened before in league history. They're putting 41 out of 44 Fever games on national TV. That's not normal. That's not even close to normal. Most WNBA teams are lucky to get 15 or 20 national games, but the Fever, they're getting almost every single game broadcast across America. That's 93% of their games on national TV. For comparison, even the Los Angeles Lakers don't get that kind of coverage in the NBA. The Lakers had 39 national games last season. The Fever are getting more national TV games than LeBron James and the Lakers. Let that sink in for a second. A WNBA team is getting more national exposure than the most famous franchise in basketball. The Fever went from being an afterthought to the main attraction overnight. Teams that used to play in half-empty arenas are now moving games to bigger venues when Clark comes to town. The Phoenix Mercury relocated to an arena with twice the capacity. The Seattle Storm moved to Climate Pledge Arena. The Atlanta Dream switched to State Farm Arena. These teams aren't doing this because they're being nice. They're doing it because they'll make way more money with Clark in the building. Home game ticket prices for the Fever more than doubled, jumping from $92 to $197 on average. That's money flowing directly into the league that wasn't there before. Think about all the extra concessions, all the parking fees, all the merchandise sales. The WNBA is finally cashing in on the potential that's been there all along. The WNBA is also giving the Fever more home games and fewer back-to-backs in 2025. They're literally restructuring the entire season around one player. Most rookies have to deal with brutal travel schedules and little recovery time between games. Not Clark. The league wants to make sure she's fresh and at her best whenever she steps on the court. They're giving her the superstar treatment because they know she's bringing in superstar money. Clark's marketing power is so strong that the Fever launched a campaign called Now You Know with merchandise, including a tour-style t-shirt saying every game is a home game because Fever fans are taking over opposing arenas. The campaign trailer is intense, with fast cuts and fierce narration declaring, "We're not here to chase greatness, we're here to claim it." There's even a shot of Clark in a movie theater surrounded by fired-up Fever fans, wearing a shirt that reads, "They not like us." The whole vibe is cool, confident, and unapologetic. These changes aren't just good for Clark or the Fever, they're elevating the entire WNBA. More viewers, more money, more attention for everyone. When the Fever play the Liberty or the Aces, those teams get exposure too. When casual fans tune in to watch Clark, they discover other stars like Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu. The rising tide is lifting all boats. How is the WNBA completely changing its schedule just for Caitlin Clark? They're giving the Fever Prime TV slots, more home games, and fewer back-to-backs. Special treatment that proves Clark isn't just a player, she's now the face of the entire league. No player in WNBA history has ever received this kind of preferential treatment as a second-year player. Not Candace Parker, not Diana Taurasi, not Aja Wilson. They all had to wait years before the league revolved around them, but the records don't stop with TV deals and ticket prices. Clark's on-court performance is breaking records that basketball experts thought would stand for decades. Her rookie season ended with 363 assists, breaking the rookie assist record. She dropped 35 points against the Mystics, a rookie scoring record. She hit 119 three-pointers, shattering the rookie record for made threes. Her 16.8 points per game average put her in the top 10 scorers as a rookie. What makes this all even more impressive is that Clark is doing this with a target on her back. Every team is designing their defense specifically to stop her. Veterans are trying to intimidate her, her. Media scrutiny is intense, but she's still breaking records and forcing the league to change. She's not just surviving the pressure, she's thriving under it. The WNBA has existed for almost 30 years, but I don't think we've ever seen anything like what Clark is doing. She's not just playing well, she's forcing structural changes to a professional sports league before her second season even starts. When the history of women's basketball is written, this moment will be a clear turning point. The game will be divided into before Clark and after Clark eras. Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records, she's completely changing what we thought was possible in women's basketball. Think about it, a $366,000 rookie card that smashed Serena Williams' record. National TV showing 93% of Fever games, teams moving to bigger arenas just for her games. The WNBA draft, where Clark was picked first, broke viewership records with 2.4 million people watching. Her debut game brought in 2.1 million viewers, the biggest audience in over 20 years. The 2025 season hasn't even started yet, and Clark has already changed the WNBA forever. Just imagine what happens when the games actually begin.